Narrated by Claire. Woman. Seasoned. Sharp tongue. Sharper memory. You know how they say the older you get, the wiser you become? Well, whoever said that clearly never fell for a man who called quinoa a spiritual ear and wore loafers without socks. My name's Claire. I'm 56. I've got more mileage than a rental car and more common sense than most people in City Hall. I pay my bills early, I clip coupons like it's the Olympics, and I've been divorced twice, once for love, once for sanity. I thought I was done with men. Turns out, men weren't quite done with me. Enter Alex. He walked into my life and my library, wearing a charcoal pea coat, holding a worn copy of The Intelligent Investor, and smiling like he'd just solved the meaning of life. You must be Claire, he said, handing me the book like it was a diamond ring. You've got a librarian voice. Calming. Like cinnamon tea. That line should have been my first red flag. But I smiled. Because, honestly, when was the last time someone compared my voice to tea instead of GPS instructions? Alex said he used to work in a high-level consulting, whatever that means. Apparently, he'd helped streamline capital flows across Europe, until a merger politely ended his career. Now he was rebuilding himself through ethical crypto investments. I didn't know what any of that meant. But he opened doors, remembered my birthday, brought me soup when I had the flu, and didn't once complain about my reruns of Matlock. That's worth something, right? We started seeing each other a few nights a week. Then 5. Then I made space in my closet. Then, and this is where it gets stupid, I gave him a copy of my house key. I told myself I was being modern. Empowered. Claire, you deserve companionship, I said. Don't sabotage something good just because you've been burned. Well, turns out, you can get frostbite from a smile. One evening, he showed up at my door holding a tiny velvet box. Inside was a silver bracelet, delicate, etched, clearly vintage. I found this at an antique store, he said. It reminded me of you. Rare. Understated. Strong. Reader, I melted like butter on a dashboard. I wore that bracelet everywhere. Even showed it off to my friend Linda over coffee. And that's where things took a hard left. She blinked, leaned in, and said, Claire, that's weird. That bracelet looks exactly like the one I lost last year. My boyfriend gave it to me. Said it was custom. His name's Tom. Lives in Chicago. I stared at her. She stared at me. Then we said it in unison. Wait. Yours was named Tom too? Her eyes went wide. Mine went dark. That night, I didn't cry. I Googled. Let me tell you, when a woman over 50 starts Googling, run. We may not know how to reset the Wi-Fi, but we know how to dig. And baby, I dug. What I found? 3 Facebook profiles. Same man. Different names. Different cities. Different women. Same smile. Same bracelet. I felt my stomach drop to the floor and bounce back with a vengeance. Was this real? Was I part of some multi-state, emotionally manipulative jewelry racket? Then came the email. Tucked in my spam folder, like it was waiting for a dramatic entrance. Hi Claire. I don't know how close you are to this man, but if you care about your finances and your dignity, you should see this. Attached, a PDF file titled Do Not Trust This Man. Full report. And let me tell you, what came next changed everything. You don't want to miss what happens when the mask comes off and the real game begins. The truth is out. And Claire? She's not going down quietly. The moment I opened that PDF, I knew I was holding something radioactive. 47 pages. Font, Times New Roman. Mood, pure betrayal. The document was a full-blown exposé. Names, dates, screenshots, even quotes. Someone, probably a woman just like me, had done her homework. And bless her heart, she left nothing out. There he was. My Alex. Also known as David. Also known as Thomas B. Also known as that guy from Atlanta who talks about crypto like it's a religion. He had a type, women over 50, stable income, some savings, and just enough optimism left to believe in second chances. And well, I was apparently Exhibit C. You'd think I'd fall apart, right? Wrong. I sat down, made a list, brewed the strongest cup of coffee this side of a truck stop, and did what any sensible woman would do. I called the bank. Now, let me pause here. You ever try talking to a financial institution when your heart's pounding and you're pretty sure someone just robbed you using your own face? Yeah. It's not fun. The bank rep said, in that chipper voice only young people have when they don't understand that $28,000 is not just a number. We have your name listed as a joint account holder. Authorized transactions only. I never opened a joint account. I snapped. I don't even share my Wi-Fi password, let alone my money. We have a digital signature from your email. Signed March 18th. March 18th? That was the day Alex made me chicken soup and insisted I rest while he handles things. Guess what things he handled? He forged my name. Digitally. To access my savings. And the kicker? The money was gone. Not moved, evaporated. Crypto wallets, overseas wires, and won a consultation fee to something called FutureWave International. My hands were shaking. My voice? Not so much. I want to file a fraud report, I said. The rep paused. That kind of long pause that makes your spine straighten. We'll initiate a review, she said. But if the transaction came from your device or with your consent. I gave him a house key, not a blank check. She didn't laugh. I didn't either. That night, I waited. Not for an apology. I'm not that naive. I waited for Alex to come through the door with that usual smug smile and those Whole Foods muffins, like he was still the hero in some sad little rom-com he wrote in his head. And sure enough, right on cue, in he walked. Hey babe, I brought you the lemon papa seed ones you like. Sit down, I said, pointing at the chair like a courtroom judge. He blinked. He Saturday. And I unloaded. Not a scream, not a sob, just facts. Dates. Screenshots. The PDF. The email trail. The fake account. The missing money. The multiple identities. The stories from other women. He didn't deny it. That would have taken effort. Instead, he leaned back and said, "You're smarter than you look." Oh. No. He didn't. And you, I said, are dumber than you dress. And that's saying something. That's when I told him. I'd gone to the bank. I'd filed a report. And oh, a local news producer reached out after I posted my story online. I swear, his face dropped faster than my 401k in 2008. He tried to spin it. You don't understand how hard it is to start over. I just needed a little help. It was never about the money. I held up a printout. Was this not about the money? I said, pointing at a transfer to something called Eclipse Investments LLC. Because that sure looks like a lot of not about the money. He left. Didn't even take the muffins. And I posted the full story on a fraud victims forum. Shared it on social media. Women from 4 different states messaged me within hours. Same name. Same tactics. Some had lost more. One of them even said he proposed. He proposed, while still using my Netflix account. Now I wasn't just angry. I was on a mission. This wasn't about heartbreak. This was about justice. And what came next? Oh, it lit a fire. Stay with me, because the final chapter is where everything flips. The final chapter. The storm. And the cleanup. After Alex walked out, I stood in my living room in complete silence. You know that silence that doesn't feel peaceful? The kind that hums behind your ears like a warning siren you've been ignoring for too long? That was me. No tears. No screaming. Just me, in my house robe, staring at a pair of lemon muffins sitting on my coffee table like witnesses to a crime scene. I opened my laptop. And I didn't stop typing until 2 a.m. My story. Every detail. The bracelet. The fake signatures. The account he opened behind my back. His consulting fees. The other women. The lies. The smiles. The muffins. All of it. And then I hit a publish. The next morning, I woke up to over 400 messages. Comments. DMs, emails from women across the country. One from Arizona. He called himself Tom with me. Same story. Same watch. He said I was the only woman who made him feel grounded. Another from Virginia. He told me his mother had passed and that I reminded him of her strength. He borrowed $7,200 to get back on his feet. I never saw it again. Then came a message from a woman named Karen. Claire, I'm a reporter. We're doing a segment on elder financial abuse and emotional fraud. Want to talk? Did I ever? I wasn't just going to talk. I was going to testify. 3 weeks later, I'm sitting in front of a camera in a local news studio. Hair done. Blazer pressed. Voice steady. Not as a victim. As a woman who said enough. The segment aired that same night. My face. My voice. My story. Aired right after the local weather and before the segment on community gardening. Prime time for the suburbs. I thought it would end there. But then, something rare happened. The story went viral. Not Kardashian-level viral, but enough to light up inboxes across 3 states. And guess what? That attention finally shook the right tree. A bank fraud investigator. Yes, a real human being who sounded like he had a conscience, called me personally. Ms. Smith, we believe your case fits a pattern tied to an ongoing investigation. Would you be open to cooperating? Honey, I nearly crocheted him a thank you scarf. Turns out, Alex, or David, or Tom, or whatever he was calling himself that week, had been flagged by 3 different institutions for suspicious financial behavior. And the cherry on top? My story gave them the final piece they needed to connect it all. They froze the accounts. Let me say that again for the ladies in the back. They froze his accounts. No more smooth talking. No more gift cards. No more crypto hopping. His house of cards finally caught a gust of wind, and I was the one who blew. Weeks later, I received a letter. From him. A real, stamped envelope. Because, apparently, email services were no longer an option for someone whose online identity had just been publicly gutted. The letter said, "You could have handled this quietly. I trusted you. But you made it ugly." I laughed so hard I scared the dog. Quietly? I hosted book readings at the public library for 20 years and made silence an art form. But this wasn't a library issue. This was a street fight, and I came in swinging. So I wrote him back. Ugly started the day you stole my name, my savings, and my dignity. What I did, that was called sunlight. And some people burn in it. These days, I still drink my morning coffee from the same mug. I still walk past the same bookshelf where he first complimented my cinnamon voice. But something's changed. Me. I don't second-guess myself anymore. I don't apologize for asking questions. And I sure as daylight don't hand out keys before background checks. I've been invited to speak at 2 financial literacy workshops for women over 50. Not as an expert, as a survivor. A tough, well-read, pridely sarcastic survivor who knows how to spot a con in good shoes. And if you're wondering what happened to the silver bracelet, I donated it to a thrift store. Let the next scammer try his luck with that cursed trinket. If someone ever tells you you're too smart to be scammed, don't listen. Con men don't look for dumb people. They look for kind people. Hopeful people. People like me. And maybe like you. But if they ever try to take you down, remember this. You can lose money. You can lose trust. But if you fight back, you'll never lose your voice.